Welcome back, folks. This week we're going electric again, but this time we have 250 Newton meters of industry leading fun. The brand new Energica Ribelle. Apparently it has 400 kilometers of range. Let's find out.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. I've been down in the dirt.
Right folks, welcome to the channel. If you're a regular subscriber, welcome back. Put your feet up, make yourself at home. Thanks for subscribing. If you've not yet subscribed, please do, and don't forget to ding dong that bell. If you're one of those lovely people over in the clan on Patreon, thank you so much for your ongoing support. If you've not yet checked out the Patreon, please feel free, patreon.com/TeapotOne. If it's your thing, awesome. If it's not, no problem. Anyway folks, back to business. The brand new Energica Ribelle. This is the flagship model of the Eva line. I've tried the SS9 or SA9 or whatever it's called before, and this is their top of the range Ribelle. Now this thing, Energica maintain that this has up to a 400 kilometer range. Yes, 400. I'll tell you right now, there's not a hope in whatever it is that you believe in that this will get that range. No way. But I think this thing will realistically have around about 100-mile range. It's got, I think, an industry leading 21.5 kilowatt battery, which is huge for electric bikes. Now, I think the Harley Livewire, which I recently tested, oh, hang on, Nationals! Oh my god! Sorry. The Harley the Harley Livewire that I recently tested, that only has, I think it's like an 11 or 14 kilowatt hour battery. It's a lot smaller than this, and I think the likes of the Zeros, the SRF and the Energica SS9 that I had, I think they only had something like a 15 or 17 kilowatt. I'll put them up on the screen as I'm talking what's it to you. This has by far the biggest battery, so it should see much more range. It has full DC fast charge capabilities and traditional AC charge, so you can charge it up at home off the 3-pin plug mains, or you can use the fast DC chargers that you see out and about. Oh, that's nice. That regen is lovely. Oh, don't mind me, pal. Numpty. That handles beautifully, it really does. Oh, the power is just instant, but so smooth. It's not like a bang of power. The electronics just sorts it all out. It's lovely. Don't forget, with these electric bikes, you know, this is 215 Newton meters of torque, but that is across the rev range. It's not like a petrol bike where, you know, it's only up to like 4,000 or 5,000 revs or above a certain rev range where you get a power band. With these electric bikes, it's literally instantaneous right across the delivery of the throttle range. The suspension is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. just soaks up the bumps in the road. I have found in the past that the rear on these electric bikes, for me, because I'm such a fat lump at 20 stone, the rear can suffer with me on it, because the bike's already really heavy, so the suspension is taking a pounding before you even get on it. And then once you add a fair bit of timber, I find the rear can be a bit squidgy in the corners. But this, so far, has been beautiful. Now the rear is fully adjustable, as is the front. Talking of adjustments, the bike has 4 riding modes, from Eco, Rain, Road and Sport. They are easily accessible by a little switch which you access with your left trigger finger, your index finger. So it's just at the back of the console. Touch that. I'm keeping my eyes on the road, folks, don't worry. But as you can see down here on the display, on the left hand side there, you've got Sport, Rain, Urban and Eco, and over on the right is your Regen Levels. Let me push that button again. So that's your regeneration levels. You can switch that off completely, meaning that when you roll off the throttle, the bike's just going to maintain that speed. There's going to be very little braking, or engine braking if you like. And then you can obviously alter that from low, medium to high. High is what it's set at the moment, which would be the equivalent of your, you know, your big thumping twins, that sort of stuff, or singles, you know, where you roll off the throttle and boom, it's like you've hit the brakes. You could almost get away, unless you're doing real spirited riding, you could almost get away with not using the brakes on electric bikes when you have the regeneration set. And the beauty of the regenerations is it's a little bit like a dynamo. It sort of sends, when you roll off the throttle, in layman's terms, I'm sure there's a far more scientific description, but it sends a little bit of charge back into the battery. Right, so we are in our constant 50 here, so let's set the cruise control. So there we go, that's the cruise control set at 50. My hand is not on the throttle. I found that quite hard. I couldn't really do it. Maybe it's my gloves, but I couldn't really do it with my gloved hand. I had to use my left hand to do that. But you push and hold on the cruise control button there at whatever speed it is that you want it to set. And to come off it, just a slight touch of the brakes, or you push the cruise control button again. Nationals. Now, do the indicators self-cancel? No, they don't. Okay. So there you go. I'm not touching the brakes at all. Oh, that handles beautifully. That is lovely. It feels so light. Now, speaking of light, the 275 kilogram weight, you know, that's a big heavy bike, a massively heavy bike. But honestly, it just does not feel it when you're riding. It feels beautiful. I'd say weightless. I've heard some people say that they think this thing's a really big clunky bike when they ride it. I mean, I genuinely cannot see how. Brakes are 4-piston Brembos at the front and 2-piston, oh go blimey, it's not, I don't think it's Brembos at the rear. Can't remember what the rear ones are. Put them up on the screen now. Whilst I remember, the forks are the, is it Mozuchi forks, which are the ones. Yeah, those brakes. I hit the brakes again there, and there's a definite delay before something kicks in. And the rear shock is, oh blimey, can't remember. Put it on the screen now. But it both are fully adjustable. Now, talking of suspension, that leads me to comfort. The seat feels lovely. Seat's quite sculpted. Oh, I wanted to go down there. Oh god, do I want to go down there? Apparently I do. Oh good. Wait, squirrel. You're having a laugh. That's a mud track. Oh no, it is a road. There's just loads of mud on it. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, and it is a road. It is a road. Okay. Oh, the cockpit cam's gone. Oh, that drive is lovely. Genuinely impressed with how this bike feels in the bends and roundabouts and things. Really does feel good. Now, believe it or not, my phone was actually running low on juice. I've been out for a while now using the Moto app in it, and it does zap the battery. You only get about an hour, an hour and a half or so before you need to charge her up. Believe it or not, the Ribelle comes with not one but 2 USB ports. So I'm now charging up my phone off the electric bike. Let's see what that does to the range. Still showing I've got 72 miles range. But anyway, we're going to get out onto a fast road, hopefully in a second. Never gets old. Nationals! Oh jeez. This thing. Wow. Wow. 200, what did I say? 215 Newton meters of torque, isn't it? That is crazy. So like, this is me going over the central thing. The central part of this road's all been dug up. And that's really quite bumpy. But it feels fine through the bike. It's quite a nice smooth ride, feels lovely. Really impressed with the suspension on this thing. There we go, there you are. Nationals! Stay. Stay. Nobody in it. That regen's lovely. Just don't need to touch the brakes. Okay, so here we are folks, back out onto the main roads here. National speed limit, 60 mile an hour. What's it like? One word. Beautiful. Beautiful. The ride is plush and smooth. The bike just feels part of you. It doesn't feel like it's 270 odd kilograms or whatever it was I said. That regen is just brilliant. I almost have to recalibrate my riding because at the points where on the tractor, on the GS, which obviously has quite a bit of engine braking, at the points where I'd roll off the gas on that, it's still way too early on this. You can really leave your, effectively your braking much later on with this when you roll off the gas, off the throttle. And see, overtakes just effortless. It's lovely. It's a bike that corners by you leaning into it, you know, you moving with your hips. It's lovely. It's like, this reminds me of the Speed Triple, the Triumph Speed Triple. That sort of bike. You know, you lean with your chin, look where you want to go, get your head and shoulders where you want to go, and the bike just comes round with you. Seriously folks, this is an impressive ride. Take the electric out of it, it's an impressive ride. Oh man, that torque is beautiful. For me it's torque, that's what I love. Never mind the brake horsepower, I don't care if a bike will do 200 miles an hour. What's the point? You know, just what is the point? Oh, I should have done it right there, never mind. Unless you're going on track, there's just no point. For me, it's the grunt. How quick does this thing get you off the mark? How quick does it overtake? Therefore, it's much safer. That, for me, is what makes a great road bike. This, believe you me, this is a great road bike. Right, this will be a good place to show you the forward and reverse. So, to engage the reverse, push and hold the ignition button. So look behind. Now if you touch the throttle, it's about 1.5 to 2 miles an hour. And you can push again and it's slow forward movement. Right, and then to put it back on again, that's it, push and hold on the ignition. Boom. So what do electric bikes actually sound like then? Here you go. So what's the actual riding position like? Well, just feels like your standard sort of naked bike really. It's nice wide bars here. It's got a 790 or 750 millimeter seat height. So there's no issues there with your feet touching the floor. I mean, I'm 6'3" anyway, so it's never a problem for me, but I'd say for the vast majority of people, this would be no problem at all for you to sit on. Again, comparable to what I've ridden before, the likes of the Super Duke, the likes of the Speed Triple, that sort of thing, that sort of sitting position, riding position. Very nice. Ergonomically, you don't have a gear lever obviously to worry about. The rear brake is where it always is, over on your right toe. Front brake is where it always is. Obviously there's no clutch. All the controls are nice and easy to get to. The only issue I've had so far was trying to set that cruise control, but honestly, I mean, if you're in a position to get one of these, would you not buy it because maybe your thumb's a bit of a stretch for the cruise control? You wouldn't, would you? That's a reflection so far of how good this bike is, folks. That's about the only negative I can think of. Taking the electric, the range and the charge and everything like that out of it, I'm talking about the actual bike, treating this as a motorbike. The ride's amazing, the power delivery is amazing. I'll tell you now, there's not a hope in hell you're going to get that 250 odd mile claimed range. I do not know where Energica were doing that. It would be interesting, 40. It would be interesting to see what conditions they did in order to get 400 kilometers out of a charge. I would say you'd be looking at 80 to 100 miles really, which is another step up. I mean, these Energicas before were horrendous for mileage. I was getting between sort of 50 and 70, 80 miles. Now it's stepped up now to where you're looking realistically 90 to 100 miles, you know, not fannying about, riding as you would a petrol bike. Oh, what beautiful S-bends. I mean, look at that for an overtake, just amazing. I don't even need to touch the brakes, just roll off the gas. That is amazing. This is a cracking little road as well. How have I not seen you before? Hello. Oh, blimey, it gets dark quick. Getting cold as well. The Ribelle, believe it or not, actually comes with heated grips. I'm not taking a mick. Heated grips. Right folks, we're back in the garage. The battery is now down to 10%. I've done 86.9 miles and it's saying I've got about 6 miles left. I think there's a bit more than that, to be honest. I reckon you probably get another 12 to 15 miles out of that 10% with normal riding conditions. So how do you recharge? When you're at home, take the keys, lift up the seat like so. And then underneath the seat we have the AC charging for plugging into the wall, and if you take this one off, those two combined make for the fast DC CCS charging. Then conveniently Energica can supply panniers, and in the panniers is your charging cable. Switch on at the wall. And now you can see, well, you know it's charging up because the Energica emblem here lights up. And then also up on the dash, it's saying estimated time left to 100%, 5 hours, 40 minutes. And that's fluctuating. So this is saying with the power output we have here, that is saying 6 hours. So I think I probably got it wrong. Initially I said 4 hours. Looks like it's 6 hours to charge up off of UK mains power. So fine for charging up during the day when you're at work, or during your shift when you're at work, or for charging up at home, as long as you have access to a power point. But what about the fast DC charge? So what do you do when you need to charge? We've covered charging at home, the AC. What about fast DC? Well, come with me. On my little phone here, there's an app called... In fact, I'll tell you what, let's go with Google Maps. Everyone's got Google Maps, haven't they? So, we'll go to Google Maps, type in electric charging points. Bosh, there's loads there. Let's head back in towards... I want to head back in towards Maidstone, so... What's in here? Tesla, no. Chargemaster charging station. M&S, beautiful, there you go. Alright, so there's loads and they're all available. Now, if you were to go on the Zap map, it does exactly the same. The Zap map will, again, let's show you. No better way than showing you. If you go on Zap map, when you register your account, you put in what sort of EV you have, electric vehicle you have. So if we go to settings, That's showing me that I've got an Energica Eva, but it's the Eva Ribelle that I have. Yep, Eva Ribelle 107 kilowatt auto. So this already knows what EV I have. So it will automatically tailor the charging points to me. So there we go. I zoom out here. This shows actually a few more, to be honest. This is showing one just down the road. But yeah, I want to try that one at M&S, which was there. Oh, now this says issues reported. So if we scroll up, right, so that's saying 1 week ago there were some issues reported. When was the last charge? 1 minute ago. So there is a CCS. One of the devices apparently looks like it's out of action, although it is 2 weeks old, that information. There's another one 1 minute ago showing that it is active. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head towards there. So can I get directions with Zap Map? I think I can. Ah, that one. Okay, yeah, so with Zap Map you push the sort of the directional arrow, and up in the top right there, then it gives you selection. What ones do you want to use? Well, I want to use Google Maps. Bosh, start, and there we go. That'll direct me in. So let's go and see if this information is up to date and see if there actually is one. Whew, I'll tell you what, I put the like the puffer jacket on underneath this suit because I thought it was going to be cold today. Good God, sweating buckets. So here we are at M&S, and now we just look for the charging points. There we go, there they are there. Ta-da. Maintenance. Okay, so that one's out of order. So the app was right that one of them's out of order at least, and this one looks fine. So we'll have a bit of this. That's something you need to watch, folks. With any EVs, with these public charge points, they're not all working, so you have to bear that in mind. Always try and give yourself a little bit of leeway with your charge. You know, don't leave it to the last minute. Right, I'll show you how we do this. Make sure everything's working. Yep, Polar is the BP. You can see, look, BP have got behind this. Shell are bringing one out. That's showing 41% at the moment. Boom, like that. For DC, you take both of these off. Get my phone. Now I've covered this on the live wire charging vid. Same process. So to start, please touch card. There we go. Card being checked. Now pop it on this one. That's that done. Thank you, you've paid. Select charging type. We want 50 kilowatt CCS. That one. Connect vehicle. Connect that up. Safety checks being carried out. Remember my phone. Charging. Beautiful. Okay. So that already is connected with the bike, and it's registering that there's 41% of charge there. And that is us. We're charging there. And you can tell you're charging on the Energica because the logo here, see that pulsing green light? You've got that. And then also on the dash, estimated time left, we've got about 20 minutes to get to 80%. So you can sort of evaluate that if you're going to 0 to 100, you'd be about 40 minutes. Another question. Someone said to me, because you have to lift up the seat, do you have to leave the keys in your bike? Does that mean you can never leave your bike? Well, no, you just pull the keys out. That's that done. That's fine. If it rains, this is fine. It's not a problem, I've been told. And I'm going to go and get a sandwich and a drink from M&S. However, I've got to mask up. Alright folks, you can see 99% supplied 10 kilowatts of power. It's been 38 minutes and it's cost me £3. So to end the charge, tap it on this one here. Oh, it did this to me last time. This is exactly what it did on the Harley. I had to phone him up. Okay, I've been on hold for like 10 minutes to the BP helpline, still couldn't get through, and I thought, well, there must be a way, because I think it's magnets or something that hold in the charge cable here, so there must be a way to do it, and there is. There's a way to bypass all that. Turn the ignition on, and then on the Ribelle it actually tells you what to do. So it tells you push mode to confirm you want to do the unlock, and then you have to push mode again to confirm the unlock. I did that. It allows you to release, and then as soon as you release, bosh, it's done. You can pop that back in. So that charge cost me £3.15. And we are ready to go. Okay, we're at 113 miles on the trip, 94% charge. Let's see what sustained motoE does. Well folks, we're here at Dover. I had 113 miles on the clock, now 153.5, so that's 40 miles, just over 40 miles, and it's used 60% of the battery. I'm down to 39% battery now, so roughly 60% there for 40 miles. So using the motoE does fairly significantly hammer your battery, but not as bad as the other models. I'm going to have to charge up to get home now, but all in, what am I thinking of this bike? Well, this bike starts at 22 and a half, 23 grand, something like that, I think, for the starting one. I had a little play on the Energica website, and I obviously priced it right up for all the bells and whistles, and it's pretty much 30 grand for you know, the Gucci wheels, the full Öhlins front and rear, carbon this, carbon that. It's about 30 grand for that, but you can pick this up for 21 and a half, 22 grand. That's still, in my mind, an insane amount of money. I wouldn't pay, you know, I'm not going to pay 20 grand for an electric bike. If you have a business, then there are tax benefits to getting electric, so you might want to speak with your accountant. I don't know the ins and outs. If you can live with a 100-mile range, you're happy with the 40-minute recharge with DC, then this definitely, if you have 22 to 30 grand in your pocket which you are looking to spend, it'd be this or the Livewire for me. Livewire just has, I don't know, it's got something different to it. Maybe it's the Harley name, but it rides a bit different. But this handles beautifully. When you get moving on the roads, it is glorious. It is, in my mind, a massive leap forward for Energica. This is a beautiful, beautiful riding bike. The bike looks stunning. It handles beautifully. It's a top speed of 126 miles an hour. Restricted to that, well, according to the speedo on the private track I was just on, I got more than that. Would I buy one myself? Not at the moment. I haven't got 20-30 grand to spend on a bike, and I certainly wouldn't spend my own money on electric yet, but it's getting ever closer. It is getting ever closer. As I always say, folks, don't be the dooms and gloom about electric. It is coming. It's coming on our door. Take one for a spin. Contact English Electric Motor Company. They do doorstep demos. They'll bring a bike to you. Take it out, see it for yourself, and see what you think. Alright then folks, massive thanks to all you subscribers. A huge thanks to all you clan members. If you've not yet joined the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and make sure you ding dong that bell. Look after yourselves folks. Get on out there, do your thing, but most importantly, live your life. Hoo-ha! Another pheasant. Another pheasant. Another pheasant. And another pheasant. Oh God, is this a sign?